Do I need to do I unmute my mic? Hang on. How's about now? Can you hear me now? I unmuted my microphone. Can you hear me now? No, 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 now. How about now? No, 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 no. Okay, you can hear me now? Okay, good. Woohoo! Uh, uh, where? Bum, 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 bum. Why can't I add Laurel? Why aren't you on there?
I see me. You don't see me?
No, I don't see you. I see you down on the screen, but you're not on the main screen. Are you?
Yeah. I see me. I'm right beside you on my screen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what I did. Oh, that was weird. I was doing something very bizarre.
Oh.
Sheesh. Okay. So, Laurel, when we go on the air, what do I need to do to make this work? Do I have to mute my mic again? I thought you were doing all that.
Well, now that Randy's here, I'm not doing anything again. So I thought you had to mute your tab, but maybe you only have to mute your mic.
See, I think I just have to mute my mic, not the tab.
Okay. Then let's try that.
You have lipstick on.
I don't, but the lighting in here is darker, which is just fine by me because it makes it look like I have more makeup on than I do.
Yeah, you're not wearing lipstick?
No.
Look at you. You look like you are.
Oh,
I
that's
am.
good. I could tell.
Yeah.
Beautiful shade.
Thank you. I watched the John Mulaney special last night. Have you seen it yet on Netflix?
No, I bet it's good though.
So it's really interesting. If you watch them all in order, if you listen to them in order, I mean, he starts off as this young 20-something who's dating this little Jewish girl. And then in his next special, he's married to the little Jewish girl. And then in the next special, he's talking about his alcohol addiction. And then you get to this special, he is divorced from the little Jewish girl. He looks old. He's got serious bags under his eyes. And the entire Netflix special is about the time he spent in rehab. The whole thing, from the moment of his intervention until he finally got out of rehab 2 months later. He does an entire comedy series based upon his time in rehab. It's really amazing. And it was
Wow.
It was heartfelt. It was sweet. It was kind. It was hilarious. I mean, it was really interesting to see. It was really, I highly recommend
That was a roller coaster because I didn't really know his story. I've seen him here and there, but not. So that was a roller coaster of a story, just you telling it.
Yeah, and I watch his specials on Netflix over and over again because they just make me laugh. He is so funny. Him and Nate Bargatze. Nate Bargatze is so funny.
Him, Bargatze, and Jim Gaffigan are my two favorite stand-up artists for sure.
And I love that Nate Bargatze is a clean routine. I mean, you can take kids and stuff. And some of my church group went to see him when he was in Orlando.
I missed that show. I'm bummed. I bet it was amazing.
It was very funny. By the way, we are streaming tonight, not just on the WDBO Facebook page. We are also streaming on my personal Facebook page and we're streaming on my personal YouTube page. Yeah. Well, I would not be doing my job properly if I failed to point out to you that we are still in storm center, though I will say that the storm really has moved out of Orange County and has moved into Brevard County, which at this point makes us no longer in storm center. Our storm center coverage is for Seminole, Osceola, and Orange counties. And a couple of people have said, "Why haven't you been reporting on on what's going on in Melbourne right now?" Well, Melbourne is actually a different radio market altogether. Melbourne has their own radio stations there, and we only service Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties are technically the only counties that we're allowed to service. Though we do recognize we have listeners everywhere, listeners in other counties as well. But if you ever wonder why is it that WDBO is so focused around Seminole, Osceola, and Orange counties? It's because by licensing with the FAA, nope, FCC. Sorry, I'm getting my drone time and my radio time mixed up. But the FCC defines what a radio market is, and the Orlando radio market is defined as Seminole, Orange, and Osceola counties. So that's what we cover. And that storm really has moved out of the far eastern portion of Orange County. Though I will say that there's a couple more storms popping up right now near Gotha, near the Yellow Dog Eats, over in Lake Butler, Dr. Phillips, towards the Magic Kingdom, towards Epcot. Some showers out there as well. So we're going to still deal with some showers and storms tonight. At this moment, we don't look like we're going to have anything severe in our 3-county metro, but we'll keep a close eye on that and keep you updated just in case anything does develop. We do have the video stream that is launched here tonight. If you want to be able to watch the behind the scenes, it is streaming both. Let's see, it's on the WDBO Facebook page. It's on my Joe Kelley Facebook page, and it's on the Talk Radio Joe YouTube page. So it's streaming live in all of those locations, and you can tune in and watch from any of those locations. You can see Laurel Lee, who assures me she's not wearing lipstick, though she certainly looks like she's wearing lipstick. I, on the other hand, I'm fully on wearing lipstick tonight. We have our triple team traffic to check right now, and PC Paul Cross, we are still working on getting that camera set up in front of PC so that we can have him on our PCs here in our studio. But Paul Cross, in the meantime, checking traffic. And Paul, I got to be honest, we're getting kind of a break from the weather right now. So I didn't mute my mic. I don't know what to do. Hey, the listeners on the video are saying they aren't hearing Paul. Is he not in audition? Why? Well, if he's going to be joining us in the video, then his voice needs to be there too. Hey, we got a programming announcement for you starting Monday, coming up on Monday of next week, on May 1st, Monday. We're going to rebrand and relaunch this show that you're listening to right now, and we're going to add an hour to it. So this show, instead of being from 6 to 7, is going to be from 5 to 7. And you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, how can it be 5 to 7? Something else is on the air at 5. Yes, the clock is a zero-sum game. If you add an hour in one place, you got to take an hour away in another place. Beginning on Monday, you'll hear the first 2 hours of Hannity starting at 3. Then at 5 o'clock from 5 to 7, it's going to be this show. And then at 7 o'clock, you'll hear the third hour of Sean Hannity. Yes, Sean Hannity is well aware of this. We have spent a copious amount of time negotiating this with Hannity and his networks, but we're very excited about the opportunity to be able to engage in more local talk and conversation. And then after 7 p.m. And 8 p.m. after the Hannity, the third hour of Hannity, all of our nighttime lineup all the way through 5 a.m. changes. Everything changes from essentially from 5 p.m. till 5 a.m. Everything is changing. And in the days ahead, I will explain why everything is changing. Karen asked me on the thread, do you like this radio slot? Do you like this? I remember when you hosted a morning show, Inquiring Minds Want to Know. And to be completely honest with you, when I first left the morning show, I was a little unhappy to not be on the morning show, because morning show is what I've done for most of my radio career, and I love doing morning shows. But that little bit of unhappiness I had then is completely replaced by absolute glee and thrilling excitement at what we're going to do starting on Monday. So yes and no, but mostly no. I'm not sad to be here in this time slot. It does give me a chance to sleep in a little bit, which I certainly do enjoy, and spend some time with my family, which I also really enjoy that as well. How about we move on? Well, I guess we'll have to do it after this. We'll want to move on to some topics now. Out of Seminole County School Board has cracked down on selling candy and other foods to fundraise during school hours, but perhaps not for the reason why you think. So hang on, we will explain for you coming up next, right here on WDBO. Oh, I see what you did, Laurel. You replied to Jude, but you were on my icon instead of the WDBO icon.
So apparently I was on all. See where it says all down there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I typed the comment in, and it replied as you and WDBO. So I guess if I only want to do WDBO, I have to click on it and hit WDBO.
Interesting. Yes, that does seem to be the case, doesn't it?
This is the first night we're doing multiple channels, so we're still learning even more.
Yeah, so everybody online, bear with us. We're still learning how to do all this. We have received no training whatsoever. I mean, zero training. Everything we're doing is self-taught, and I am a lousy teacher. So is that a bottle of whiteout over there behind you over your left shoulder? Is that whiteout?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We have whiteout in our studios.
I don't know why. We barely have paper in here.
Right.
So.
Why? I mean, I would be hard pressed that we would have whiteout anywhere.
We don't have any working pens, but we have whiteout. So
yeah. I haven't had dinner because we've been so busy with Storm Center and everything else. So I didn't have dinner. I'm really, really hungry.
I have a muffin in here.
Yeah, I can't eat. I can't eat that. And I can't eat on the air. Jude, to the extent of getting advice from the Mark K Show, we've got Josh McCarthy on our team now, and Josh helped set up the whole Mark K thing. So we're getting that help from him on this. So we're excited about that. I am real sure I'm going to stop on the way home and get a cheeseburger. I had that apparatus removed from my back today. Laurel, you knew that. I'm telling our listeners, I had that thing removed from my back today. And now they say
your robot part.
Yeah, my cyborgianness. So, and they're saying that I can't get the permanent one installed or implanted until June. So that means I get to go back to my pain and deal with that. Michael Gray. Hey, buddy. Look, it's Michael Gray.
Michael. Hi.
Oh, I like that guy. Uh, ooh. I'm charging my drone right now because I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get outside after the show and get some of the storms. Depends on where the storms are.
Am I going to do my big three to all of our wonderful streamers? Or are you going to talk over me again?
So I need to mute it.
No, you just need to not talk. I mean, it's up to you. I could not do it.
So shut up, Joe.
A mixed day on Wall Street is over as earning reports continue to roll in. Chipotle was one of the day's biggest gainers, rising more than 12%. Meantime, First Republic Bank saw shares tumble by more than 29%. The so-called doomsday cult trial is entering its third week today with graphic testimony from an FBI agent. Lori Vallow is accused of killing her 7 and 16-year-old and conspiring to kill her fifth husband's first wife in Boise, Idaho. The children disappeared in 2019. Their bodies eventually found on property in rural Idaho belonging to their stepfather in 2020. Black Mirror will return to Netflix this summer after nearly half a decade. A trailer for the 6th season of the award-winning series revealed it will debut on the streaming service in June. It'll feature a star-studded cast that includes Salma Hayek, Aaron Paul, Kate Mara, and Michael Cera.
I want to talk about Harry Buffalo's closing. You think anybody wants to talk about that?
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for wanting to hear my big three. That's sweet of you. I don't know. Do people care? Because I was talking to Sophie. I'm like, is it only you downtown Orlando people that care, or do normal people care?
I feel like that's one of those, that's like the last bar that was part of Church Street back in its heyday, wasn't it? I mean, back in the heyday, wasn't Harry Buffalo still there?
I was barely there in the heyday, but yeah, I feel like the whole of Church Street has changed over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jude.
I'm Joe Kelley along with Laura Lee. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Again, if you want to be able to see the behind the scenes, just check out our Facebook page. We've got the live video up there right now as Laurel, for whatever reason, has donned a rabbit suit, which I don't understand. The ears are cute. I like that and all, but it looks like you're ready for Easter. She's all decked out in a rabbit suit. And if you want to check that out, just check that out on the WDBO Facebook page or something like that. I was really bummed out today to find out that Harry Buffalo's in downtown Orlando is closing for good. Saturday night is their last night to be open. They'll be closed by Sunday. And there was no announcement about what's going there. Harry Buffalo's posted that on their Facebook page earlier in the day today. And I know that if you don't live downtown or go downtown a lot, you don't care about Harry Buffalo's. I just feel like Harry Buffalo's was the last of the downtown restaurant bars there on Church Street. For those of you who have lived here a long time, and before the other theme parks opened, back when it was pretty much just Disney and maybe a little bit of Universal, but people used to refer to Church Street as the third theme park. That Church Street in downtown was so lively and so happening and so exciting and so safe, evidently. And now there's nothing left. I mean, the only place that was still open really was Harry Buffalo's. Hamburger Mary's is still open, I should observe, and their hamburgers are delicious, but they do a drag show on the weekends, and I don't know to what extent they're gonna have to close down because of their drag show, or at least stop doing the drag show there at Hamburger Mary's. But if anybody has any memories to share with us from back in the day when Church Street in downtown Orlando was really the scene, the place to be, then by all means join us at 844-580-WDBO. It's 844-580-9326. You can use the open mic in the WDBO app. In the meantime, in Seminole County, they've got to stop selling candy and other foods. They're not allowed to fundraise during school hours on Seminole County school campuses ever again. There was a complaint made over nutritional policy that prompted principals to take a closer look at what was being sold on campus. The district said this was brought to their attention after the parents of a middle school student complained that their child was able to buy candy that was sold as a fundraiser by the PTSA at a school store. So this decision has now had a trickle-down effect. It's always that one parent that complains and changes everything for everybody. But one parent complained, and now they got to get rid of candy and everything else. So evidently for a decade, a pizza joint called Venus Pizza has been a lunch staple for students at Lake Brantley High School. The owner there is a Lake Brantley grad, has 4 kids that went to Lake Brantley High School. But Friday afternoon, they learned that they can no longer deliver to the school. Students say they're caught off guard by the policy change as well. In an email to parents, Lake Brantley's principal said the change is due to a complaint by a family challenging the enforcement of the nutritional policy on campus. What, so pizza doesn't make the nutritional policy on campus? I mean, I get M&Ms and Skittles and stuff, Snickers bars not being part of the nutritional policy, but pizza, come on, pizza, it's got tomato sauce. That's a vegetable, isn't it? It's got cheese. That's a protein. It could have other vegetables on it, like tomatoes and pineapple. Ooh, if you put pineapple on pizza, you could have other proteins like pepperoni and beef, chicken. Even some people put chicken on pizzas. The district said that principals were then given a refresher course on smart snack guidelines to follow federal standards regarding foods sold on campus. There's the problem. Federal intervention. It's the federal issues. And the feds, and I don't remember the exact statistic, but the federal contributions to local schools around America is something like 3 or 4%. It's not a lot per school. It's a lot for the federal government to give that much money to all of the schools. But as far as the schools are concerned, if they rejected that federal funds, they wouldn't have to play by the federal rules. And it's a small portion that the local schools get. But because there are federal guidelines, they accept federal funding, then they have to do what the feds say. So now that the principals have been given a refresher course on smart snack guidelines, they are refreshed about what foods can and cannot be sold on campus. A board member, Amy Pennock, said the decision is going to impact fundraising for financially strapped students to be able to attend camps, band functions, seminars, field trips, and more. For some of the business owners, like that pizza joint I was telling you about, it's hurting their bottom line. They say we could lose a couple of $100 a day from not being able to service the kids there at the school. The district says they have a website with information on the guidelines, as well as other fundraising ideas and foods that meet the requirements of the PTSA to sell for their fundraising events. All I know is for any of my friends, particularly if I know their kids, if they come up to me and say, my kid is selling something for a fundraiser, I am almost always going to contribute, and I am almost always not going to take the item that they're selling. Say if they're selling a big box of M&Ms or something like that, and it's $5, I'll give them the $5 for the effort, but I'll say, resell my candy to somebody else. Sell it to somebody else, or take it for yourself. In part because I don't eat a whole lot of sugars. If they were selling pizza, oh my goodness, I'd be all over the pizza in a heartbeat, but not the candies. But what else could marching bands, could athletes, I mean, what else could they sell if not candy? Or, well, candles? They could sell candles. They could sell what? Wristwatches? S- Sophie is saying something to me as if I can lip read her. She's pointing to her wrist. Bracelets.
Bracelets.
Bracelets. Okay, so they could sell this is radio, and you're literally 1 foot away from a microphone. I don't know if you're aware of that, but you could have been able to contribute that. You are the most recent to have graduated from a high school out of all of us. I mean, did you have to sell anything when you were in school? Oh, yeah. And we sold stuff for Boy Scouts all the time to help pay for our camps. But at the time, we would go out on a street corner somewhere well, we would set up a barbecue and sell hot links, but that was in Texas, a little bit different than Florida. I don't know if Texas still does that, but we would sell hot links at a barbecue on the corner, and it was awesome. And now the Boy Scouts sell popcorn, and it is hella expensive, certainly compared to the Girl Scouts cookies. Those are now just $4 a box. They used to be 3 and 2 before that, but the Boy Scouts popcorn is like $20. It's crazy. 6:30. We'll continue here on WDBO.
Good evening. 6:30 here at WDBO. Remember, the WDBO payroll payout is back. Download our app now so you don't miss your chance to win $1,000. It's starting tomorrow at 8 a.m. Your next chance is, anyways, to get $1,000, where you could just get paid just for listening to WDBO. Our top story: Walt Disney World suing Governor DeSantis.
Word of the suit came shortly after the newly appointed governing board for Disney's district voted to void a set of last-minute agreements the company made earlier this year. Disney calls the board's decision anti-business and unconstitutional. The company went on to say the governor has used a relentless campaign to weaponize government power to go after its operation. The ongoing feud between the state of Florida and the entertainment giant started last year after Disney spoke out against a law limiting discussions of sexual orientation in public schools. I'm Rick Hosho.
A Florida appeals court rules in favor of a state university in a COVID closure case.
An appeals court has rejected a COVID class action lawsuit against Florida Atlantic University. Students claim they're owed refunds for fees paid to FAU when the college shut down in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But the West Palm Beach-based 4th District Court of Appeal ruled that students weren't promised in-person classes or on-campus services as part of their agreement with the university. The Florida Supreme Court is considering a similar suit against the University of Florida after another appeals court rejected it. Sophie Diaz, WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580.
The NAACP suing the Minneapolis Police Department for allegedly using fake social media accounts to spy on its members for no reason.
The lawsuit claims MPD officers posed as Black users to harass the organization and push racist stereotypes. It was filed in federal court today by the University of Minnesota's Racial Justice Law Clinic. This comes after the state's Department of Human Rights released an investigative report on misconduct within the department. I'm Lisa Taylor.
Remember to have that WDBO app downloaded, because your next chance to get on the WDBO payroll payout coming up tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. You could win $1,000 just for listening to WDBO. It's 6:32 here at WDBO.
I have to unmute my mic. Okay. So this next story is just so insane to me. This next story is a Vermont school district, a Vermont school, elementary school, that will no longer call their students boys or girls. They're not going to refer to them as boys or girls. Wait till you hear what they're going to call them. I got to say, it is much harder to be a child these days than it was when I was a kid. Yeah, it's much difficult. It's much harder to be an adult these days than before. I mean, life is getting harder every day. Hey, you know that phone number that's scrolling in the bottom of the screen? That is not the right phone number.
No, it's 844.
Yeah, let me see if I can change
Oops.
that.
The rest of it's right. The 580, because that's the station
Yeah.
we're on.
Let me s-
9326, but it's 844.
Yeah. I blame Josh McCarthy.
He's not here. It's easy to blame him.
Yeah. Okay, how about that?
Noise. Yeah, that's right.
Noise!
Noise.
Noise! So
You see,
go ahead.
I was just going to see, you see some guy's house collapsed from the storms today? Half of it collapsed. Yeah,
Wow,
I'll find that
no.
article and send it to you.
So here's my problem between doing the radio show and then with the video stream is I don't get to listen to open mics. No, because I know how to mute me, but if you're able to listen to open mics, that would be great. If you don't mind, and you can just literally label them and leave them in the queue, and I'll take a look at them. But edit them. I mean, edit the heads and tails, and if they cuss or something. Thank you. Josh went home already for the day. Beth, my wife is doing great. Thank you for asking. She's beautiful and lovely, and she's doing really, really good. Her father is about to leave Florida. He is 80 something. But he's about to move to Connecticut with his wife, and we're kind of glad. So hey, Monchi, how are you, buddy? Man, Laurel, my legs and feet hurt like crazy.
Oh, man, already, huh? Jeez. What a bummer, man. Woohoo, ibuprofen. To the rescue.
What do I take? 16, 17 of these? Is that right?
Something like that. Yeah. You're like, just pour it in my hand. That's
That's
the
right.
right amount.
Monchi, thank you. I appreciate that. It's the one thing I got. I look at today's society and I think to myself, this society is harder than it's ever been before. I mean, with all of the different political correctness, with all of the different interest groups, with everybody asserting rights that they may or may not have, this one really frustrates me. As a Vermont elementary school says it will no longer use the words male or female or boys or girls when teaching fifth grade students about puberty and human reproductive systems. They're going to use more gender inclusive language. So imagine you're in fifth grade class about human reproductive systems. You're doing the fifth grade. Is that when they teach sex ed is fifth grade? How old are fifth graders? What's the fifth grade age? What age? Can you turn on the green room? What age are fifth graders?
Oh,
10?
10.
10.
She worked with them. She knows.
So that's when we start teaching sex ed, is when they're 10?
No.
That seems a bit young.
No, I would say 15, 16, 14,
I would think maybe 12,
12.
13. I honestly don't remember if I even had a sex ed class.
You were already working in radio, so you didn't attend.
I'm probably
Something like
still
that.
doing it wrong. I have no idea. But the so instead of using boy or male or girl or female, they're going to refer to boys. Well, the person formerly known as a boy, they're going to refer to that person as a person who produces sperm. Hey, I want you to meet my best boy. I want you to meet my best person who produces sperm. It's Tommy. Yo, give it up for Tommy. Would you care to guess what they are going to refer to as girls, formerly known as girls?
I don't want to.
Well, if a boy is a person
Eggs.
so yes, a person who produces eggs. Thank you, Laurel, for saying you don't want to play along and then you just shout it out.
It could be a chicken too.
Now, I don't want to split hairs here or anything, but there are actually some men who don't produce sperm, and I would imagine that there are some women who don't produce eggs. Is that such a thing? I know for a fact that there are some men who don't produce sperm.
Yeah.
But is there such
when you get to like menopause, you stop all that.
Well, but I'm not talking about menopause. I'm talking about, younger kids, younger. I mean, are there teenage girls that don't produce eggs?
I believe that is a condition.
I mean,
yes.
there's all kinds of conditions. I mean, people have all kinds of freaky physical conditions. I mean, Laurel, you should know.
What?
I'm just kidding. But I mean, there are people who don't produce sperm and people who don't produce eggs. What do you call those people? A person who should be producing sperm but otherwise doesn't produce sperm. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And it's sad at how difficult life has become. And I feel sorry for today's kids, and I feel sorry for today's parents. I mean, today's parents and kids have it harder than it has ever been in American culture because of this culture war that we are continuously fighting here in the United States. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing as, China may be about to invade the U.S. China may be about to invade Taiwan. China and Russia may be about to start World War III. And we over here in the United States are splitting hairs over what to call boys and girls and trying to teach our military about diversity and equity and everything else like that. I just want our military to kill people and destroy things. That's what I want out of our military. I don't care if they're politically correct or not. Triple team traffic now. Paul Cross is checking in. You said we have an overturned box truck. That's always terrible. Now, when you guys go out to eat, does it bother you if you're dining outdoors, if you're dining al fresco, does it bother you if there is a dog on the patio dining with you? You'll be interested in knowing that the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, or as Kamala Harris calls it, the Federal Drug Administration, but the Food and Drug Administration has come out with new guidelines for outdoor seating areas, saying that it is okay for diners to bring dogs to restaurants with outdoor seating areas. Now, the FDA doesn't get the final word on this, even though they're a federal agency. They're simply saying it's okay to do so. State and local administrations are the ones that get to make up their mind and decide. 23 states officially allow dogs in outdoor patio areas of restaurants. I know that recently we were eating in downtown, and I was desperate for a burger, and I heard that Cress, even though they're famous for their steaks, Cress makes an amazing lunchtime burger on their lunchtime menu. And my wife Ronnie Sue and I had our dog. It's my stepdog. It's Ronnie's dog. But we took Arwen with us, and we sat there on the patio there on Church Street and enjoyed a burger. And and they bring a bowl out for our dog so that the dog can have some water and stay hydrated. But how do you feel about having dogs out there with you when you're dining al fresco? I assume, Laurel, you're totally down for dogs anywhere. I mean, you would invite dogs into the kitchen if you could.
I want dogs everywhere, all
Yes,
the time,
right,
constantly.
Right. And I am not far from that. I pretty much agree. I love dogs. I love cats too. I'm not just a dog person. Obviously with Kitty George Washington. But as far as the FDA is concerned, as they updated their FDA food code, the agency explicitly stated that its health rules allow for pet dogs in outdoor dining areas where approved. Dogs still are not allowed indoors or anywhere food is prepared. They can't even walk through, even if it is to walk through to get to an outdoor patio. The outdoor patio has to have an outdoor entrance. You can't walk through the restaurant to get to the outdoor patio. The exception, of course, is service dogs, which generally are allowed in restaurants. I still don't know that they're allowed in kitchens where the food is being prepared. And emotional support dogs are not allowed. There's not an exception for that. And that evidently is a big source of confusion and conflict, because service dogs are, but emotional support dogs are not, which says that emotional support dogs are not service dogs, right? So a service dog is somebody who helps, say, a blind person, a dog who helps a blind person, or a dog who helps maybe someone who has seizures, and the dog alerts them to whether a seizure is about to happen. What would be other cases of service dogs?
Diabetes, they can, tell when your sugar's low, somebody's sugar's low, or if they're about to faint, they can tell they're going to faint if they have blood pressure issues.
Sophie has an idea. There probably are, and those would be service dogs, I would think. But emotional support dogs, I think it's a tough hair to split, quite frankly, because if you're an Army vet that suffers PTSD and you want to go out to eat, why couldn't, is that a service dog or is that emotional support dog?
Yeah, because if you hear backfiring, like a car backfires, right? And you have a trauma response, you collapse, whatever.
Yeah, you freak out.
It's an emotional problem, but also you have physical symptoms. So I don't know. I'm sure there's law somewhere where it tells us where that lies, but that's tough.
And restaurants, if they allow dogs, cannot discriminate based upon breed. You can't say the Frenchie can come in, but the Rottweiler has to stay outside. As long as the Rottweiler is behaving itself, the Rottweiler is invited in as well. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about having service dogs or pet dogs in outdoor dining areas where it's approved? I love this idea. I every time I walk by an outdoor patio and I see someone's dog, I generally will ask, hey, can I pet your dog? I generally ask anybody ever that I see a dog, I ask if I can pet their dog. You can join me at 844-580-WDBO. It's 844-580-9326, or use the open mic in the WDBO app. So, Laurel, I'm going to turn off my mic so I can listen to open mics. that means you're alone to entertain our video listeners. Bye-bye.
Great. Ah, I don't have anything to say. I don't know what he wants me to say. Did anybody get any damage from the storms? Hi, Jude. I know I did. Michael knows this. I had a broken window. I've never had storm damage like that where it smashed something in my home, but it broke one of my windows. Thankfully, I have 2 paned windows, so it only broke the outside of it, not the inside of it, so I don't have a hole in my house, which is good. But yeah, I have paint on my house is chipped off. I have like this decorative red square on the front of my house, and it's tore off all that paint. I don't know who I'm going to get to climb up there to repaint that, because I'm sure my HOA is not going to be thrilled that that isn't looking great. I mean, they'll have some leeway because we all got damaged, but and then if you listen to me on the weekends, I host the In the House show with Universal Roof and Contracting at 8 a.m. on Saturdays. And so luckily those guys are cool guys and they're friends. So I texted Justin Febb and I'm like, can you come out and look at my roof and see if it's damaged? So he's going to come out in the next couple days and check out my roof to make sure I don't have any damage. But that's not fun. So when I texted my husband today and I'm like, hey, we're getting more hail, he was understandably not thrilled. But I don't think it hit my area. I think it hit like Sanford this time around. So I hope you guys didn't get too much damage. Yeah, Marie, your roof hasn't been inspected. The trucks were already out in my neighborhood. When I left this morning to come into the station, I saw one on my street doing the door knocking, and then I saw 2 more coming into my housing development. I'm like, oh, they're fast. They're already here. So I had to warn my daughter. I'm like, hey, there's going to be so many people knocking on our door. Just ignore them or tell them we're taken care of, because we're going to get a lot, particularly with that big broken window. That's great. That's going to be a big old sign we got damage for sure. I thought Joe was coming back. He put his headphones on. There he is.
Hey.
Hi.
So my wife, Laurel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
My wife just texted me and said that she heard you talking during the commercial break. And I heard it in my headphones too. So
that was Randy leaving me up.
Sophie, what makes you think that I can read your lips? Were you aware that we were okay. That was my only concern, was whether or not you were aware that we had an issue. Oh.
The White House is confirming President Biden will serve the entire second term if he is reelected. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre's response to the question during Tuesday's press briefing caused a stir on social media. The president officially announced his reelection plans on Tuesday. 3 people have been arrested for first-degree murder in the Colorado rock-throwing incident that killed a 20-year-old driver. Police say all 3 18-year-olds are suspected of tossing large landscaping rocks at least 7 cars in the Denver area. Alexa Bartell died last week after a large rock was thrown at her vehicle. 2 NHL playoff games are being played tonight in the Eastern Conference. The Bruins will look to close out the Florida Panthers in Boston. In the West, the Seattle Kraken and Avalanche will battle it out in Game 5 of their tied series in Colorado.
There's a team called the Seattle Kraken.
They're brand new. I want to go see a game so bad.
What league is this again?
Cool.
It's hockey?
It's hockey.
The Kraken is not just a movie character. It's like part of Greek mythology or something, right? Or Roman mythology, or isn't it?
It goes back some hundreds of years. Yeah, I don't know where it originated from.
It wasn't invented by a movie.
It wasn't invented by Disney for Pirates of the Caribbean, no.
That wasn't the Release the Kraken. That wasn't where that was from.
There was a Kraken in one of the Pirates movies. Davy Jones controls it.
Mm.
Yeah, Michael, I saw that picture you posted of that. It looks like there's snow on the school court ground. I mean, like it's all white. That's crazy. Yeah, Beth, I'm surprised we didn't have trees go down in our area. We have a ton of foliage that went down, and some of like these are KB home signs were snapped in half, but we didn't have any trees. Thank
Didn't you
goodness.
say that you had a window broken?
Yeah, I was telling them that while you were listening to open mics. That's what started this conversation. But yeah, luckily it's a double paned window, so it's only the outer pane, but still. It's
Can we talk
in
about it on the
hood.
radio?
For sure.
Okay. I'm going to play an open mic coming back.
Hey, Joe, looking forward to your new program time. Give us a lot more opportunity to voice our opinion.
Yeah, it's great.
But as far as the Lake Brantley situation, maybe they can sell challenge coins. They can stamp their own coins, the band, the football team, or whatever team, and they can sell those coins.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool idea. I like challenge coins. Laurel, your 501st people have challenge coins.
Yeah, my Star Wars
I
costuming.
generally carry a Christian challenge coin of sorts with me. Turn on the green room.
Yeah, my Star Wars costuming club, we adopted that from the military. I think that's where it originated from, is the military does the challenge coins. And a bunch of people have adopted it. So those are fun. Those are fun to collect. Those are fun to have on you. Yeah, that's a cool idea.
I'm not sure about selling them to kids though, because isn't the purpose of a challenge coin is to get a free drink out of it somehow?
That is kind of the thing.
I mean,
Whoever doesn't have theirs, you have to buy
Right.
a round of drinks.
Yeah, so I don't know about giving that to kids. I want you guys to hear the latest attack ad against Ron DeSantis, and these just boil my blood. And it's not. I don't believe that Ron DeSantis is perfect, but I wish Donald Trump would spend more time talking about how great Donald Trump is, and instead of bashing Ron DeSantis. But here is the latest 30-second commercial from the Trump Political Action Committee attacking Governor Ron DeSantis.
This new one looks pretty good. Really? Did you know Ron DeSantis?
Let me set it up. There's a guy grabbing a couple of ball caps off of a hat rack inside his house, and there is a DeSantis ball cap which he's grabbing for. You can see on the rack next to it there's a MAGA red cap, and he's putting on the DeSantis cap, and that's what they're referring to when he says this one looks pretty good.
This new one looks pretty good. Really? Did you know Ron DeSantis backed deep cuts to Social Security and Medicare?
Ron DeSantis?
Yeah, he voted to cut Social Security or Medicare not once, not twice, but 3 times. DeSantis even tried to raise the retirement age to 70.
I thought DeSantis was one of the good ones, but he's just another career politician.
America needs Trump. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
And there's never any context to those. You always see the tiny little subscript that makes the reference to, what newspaper and what date it was in. And it lacks context. That's a 30-second ad in which we're supposed to absorb all of these complex political issues. And it's just nonsense. It is absolute nonsense. I would much rather have 30 seconds of Donald Trump saying, you know what, when I was president, everything was going great. Here's what I'll do if I'm given a second term, another term. That would, I think, be far better. My name is Joe Kelley, along with Laura Lee. Thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. We'll be back here with you again tomorrow night, right here on WDBO. So thanks you guys so much for watching. We're going to get better at this, I promise. We're really working hard to get Laurel up and running on this. It's very problematic. So I'm just teasing. I don't usually tease you, Laurel. I'm sorry for teasing you so much.
Yeah, you're doing it a lot. That's
I know.
okay,
I'll stop teasing you. I don't usually see you. I mean, you're like 20 rooms away from me. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Have a good night. Bye, Michael Gray. Bye, Jude, Karen, Beth. Good night, everybody.